Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reportedly called off a major strike against Iran after U.S. President Donald Trump instructed him not to escalate Israel's confrontation with the Islamic Republic. 100 days into the conflict, Trump still has not secured an elusive deal to end the war and spent the last 24 hours scrambling to avoid its full-scale resumption. The Israeli Prime Minister had approved a major operation against Iran. At approximately 4:30 p.m. on June 8th, Channel 12 reported. A New York Times reporter described the planned attack as massive, indicating the scale of the operation under consideration. Trump, mindful of the risk of the U.S. being dragged into another war, called Netanyahu and urged him to halt further attacks as Washington worked toward a deal to end the conflict. In a brief to the nation, Netanyahu announced he would halt attacks on Iran, for now, but warned that Israel would strike Iran and Hezbollah if it is attacked again. Netanyahu agreed to the request and reportedly canceled the operation while fighter aircraft were being prepared for takeoff. According to Channel 12, the abrupt reversal reportedly generated considerable confusion within Israel's military high command. While some Israeli officials called the conversation as one of mutual understanding, other sources cited by the report said it was effectively a directive from the president. Iran and 5 other countries from the Middle East involved in the mediation efforts between the U.S. and Iran asked Trump to pressure Netanyahu to stop the attacks and move forward with an agreement, Axios reported. Trump told Axios that his administration had received messages from Iran, indicating that Tehran was willing to stop shooting if Israel also ceased its attacks. Trump further claimed that Israel informed Washington about its planned military action, only at a very late stage. An Israeli source said the Israel Defense Forces notified CENTCOM ahead of the strike in Beirut, but not the White House. As Trump weighed joining Israeli strikes, the U.S. faced the risk of once again becoming embroiled in major combat operations in the Middle East. Trump told Axios in a phone interview that he had warned the Israeli Prime Minister that if he went back to war with Iran, he might find himself fighting alone. The two leaders reportedly held multiple conversations throughout the crisis, with Trump pressing for an end to renewed hostilities. According to Channel 12, Netanyahu's decision to suspend Israeli military action reportedly came only after significant pressure from Trump. The U.S. president told the network that he warned Netanyahu Israel could be left alone if it escalated the conflict with Iran. Trump allegedly told Axios that he asked Netanyahu on the night of June 7th not to respond to Iranian ballistic missile attacks on northern Israel. The Iranian missile attacks reportedly followed Israeli strikes against Hezbollah targets in Beirut, intensifying tensions before diplomatic efforts gained momentum. During a call with Netanyahu, Trump had reportedly argued that he could secure a deal with Iran within days, making further strikes unnecessary. An Israeli source briefed on the conversation said, Trump also suggested that he himself might lead strikes against Iran if diplomacy failed. One U.S. official described the call as polite, while another stated that nobody shouted. Netanyahu reportedly argued in favor of continued Israeli strikes, maintaining a more aggressive position during discussions with the U.S. president. Channel 12 said in a separate report that apparently during the same call, Netanyahu said, "The Iranians violated our sovereignty. We have to draw a red line." Netanyahu argued that not responding to the Iranian attack would be bad for Israel, bad for the U.S., and bad for the deal Trump was trying to negotiate, Axios reported. Israeli officials held differing interpretations of the discussion, with some viewing it as a conversation based on mutual understanding. According to the report, the call concluded without a clear commitment from Netanyahu regarding future military action against Iran. Some participating U.S. officials believed Trump had succeeded in securing additional time for diplomacy, despite the absence of firm assurances.
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.